Hey, what's up guys? Cloud here. Now I know I haven't been very active lately. It's been a while since I posted a new video, but I haven't been taking this YouTube shit as seriously as I should be. I've been slacking, but now I'm back on my shit and I'm gonna be a lot more active from here on out. Now I don't want to just put out videos just for the sake of putting them out and just rushing shit. So I'd like to know what type of content you guys would like to see from my channel, and I'll do my best to get it out to you. So you guys can tell me what content you like to see in the comment section below. Plus I like to keep it fresh, stay original. I don't really like putting out the exact same shit that other people were doing. I haven't seen any videos like this on YouTube so far, so if they do start to pop up, then you know who the originator was. Anywho, we're gonna be talking about the top 25 Super Souls in Xenoverse 2. It'll be a small series and I'll probably make 3 videos just to cover them all. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Kicking off our list at number 25 is Frost with his Super Soul, Don't Quit, Get Up. Now what this soul does is it will revive you once you've been KO'd with 1 HP, not a health bar as the description suggests, and it will nullify all damage for about 10 seconds. Also, you get a medium boost to melee attacks. At the number 24 spot, we've got Final Form Freezes, You Must Die by My Hand. It essentially does the exact same thing as Frost Soul. However, instead of melee attacks, you get a medium boost to your Ki Blast skills. Now, as previously stated, these souls essentially are the same. I favor Freezes a little more simply because I'm a Ki Blast user. You may like Frost better if you're a Strike Super user. Also, since the invincibility doesn't last too long, it's probably safer to fight from a distance than be up close and personal trying to land Strike Supers. So I think Freezer Soul is just slightly a little better. Now I'm gonna be honest, I can't really recall the last time or if ever I've seen someone other than myself mount a successful comeback from using these souls. So what I can tell you that it is extremely difficult to be clutch with just 1 HP unless the match was already extremely close. Now with all that said, it doesn't mean that skillful players won't have any uses for these 2 souls, because the true bread and butter lies with picking in the Namekian and their passive health regeneration capabilities. Once you revive, you can start regenerating your health, and it's even better if you go giant because your stamina will take the place of your health bar, giving you enough health to actually have a fighting chance to mount a comeback. Next on our list at the number 23 spot is Hit Super Soul, I'm Over 1,000 Years Old. Now this is one of the most slept on Super Souls in the entire game. What it does is it gives you a large boost to your Strike Supers whenever you perform a Just Guard or a Perfect Block. Now the damage boost is around 15% and the duration lasts about 10 seconds. It can also be repeated as many times, as we all know there are some players that are just highly susceptible to perfect blocking. This soul pairs up nicely with the time skip moves, and it also does crazy damage with moves such as Sledgehammer. Now you won't see my guy doing a lot of damage with this soul simply because I have 0 invested in Strike Supers, but for you male Earthlings or you guys who have more than 100 in Strike Supers, you'll be doing a ton of damage with this soul if your Perfect Block game is good. Moving on to number 22 on our list, we have Great Ape Vegeta's Super Soul, Welcome to the End of the Line. Alright, that's a bad impression. Now seriously, this isn't a bad soul though. So what this does is when your health is below 25%, you get an XL boost to your basic attacks. Now it's not your traditional XL boost where they normally give you a boost of about 20%. This soul gives you slightly under 25%. This soul is the highest basic attack booster in the game. Now with the all square combo in my base form, I do 3,329 points of damage. Now as a Super Saiyan 3, the same combo is going to net me 4,003 points of damage. Now side note to remember, Saiyans will benefit more from this soul simply because they get a Zenkai boost when their health is low, and male Saiyans even more because they have stronger basic attacks than any other race in the game. Now once the soul's been activated, you'll notice the damage increase immediately. My base form is now stronger than my Super Saiyan 3 form was. In my base form, I'm doing 4,263 points of damage. Now as a Super Saiyan 3 with this soul activated, I do 4,923 points of damage. Now keep in mind, my basic attacks are not over 100. So for those of you who do have your basic attack set at 125, you're going to do some serious damage when the soul activates. Now the downsides to this soul is that once it has been activated, you cannot use any super attacks, skills, or abilities. So you can't transform, you can't use any moves, you only have basic attacks. So also you're fighting at below 25% health, so it's a bit of a clutch soul. You have to be really clutch. So I don't recommend this soul if you are not a male Saiyan. However, if you are a male Saiyan, you want to use Super Saiyan 3 before the soul activates, because you won't be able to use any transformations once it does. But I guarantee you'll have a massive damage increase. So overall, it's a pretty good soul. Deserves to be on the list. Alright, coming in at the number 21 spot, we've got Broly Super Soul. A monster? No, I'm a devil. Now I know I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this one being so low on the list, because this is arguably the most popular Super Soul on Ranked at the moment. But I just happen to think that it is extremely overrated, and I'll explain why. Now what it does is it gives you a small damage reduction to all strike super attacks, and that lasts throughout the entire fight. It also allows you to start each fight with max ki, so you'll have access to all your super attacks and ultimates at the very beginning of the match. Now, you know, normally when I see this soul, I already know what time it is. A red flag goes up. I'm already looking for my opponent to go Super Saiyan and start taking advantage of the warping capabilities with Big Bang Kamehameha spam, Evil Explosion spam. I'm looking for Go-Go Gum. I'm looking for Dragon Flash bullets. I'm looking for Absolute Zero. I'm looking for whatever cheesy shit is in this game, because they're more than likely trying to one-shot me into, you know, submission at the very start of the match. Now I know what you're thinking, right? This soul sounds like it's pretty OP. Why isn't it higher on the list? I love this soul. I'll tell you why. Most people who use those type of tactics usually aren't very good at the game. So after they've expended their ki and failed, they don't have another strategy. They don't have a plan B. They can't think on their own. They don't know what to do. Secondly, a lot of people don't utilize their ki from the very start of the match, which doesn't really make any sense. Like, what was the point of you picking this soul if somebody like me, who invests 0 in ki with 5 to 7 ki bars depending on which QQ bang I'm using, can have max ki at the same time as you? It just doesn't make any sense. So if you're not planning on using Emperor's Death Beam, Final Shine, Super Ki Explosion, or any of those moves that require a ton of ki, and you don't have like 9 or 10 bars, I would tell you not to even waste your time with this soul. But there are so many other better souls out there, trust me. If you are a cheap spammy player, this is the soul for you. If you are a smart, aggressive player who likes to finish the match early, this also could be the soul for you. Like I said, I'm not saying that it's a bad soul, I just don't think it's as great as so many people make it out to be. That's just my opinion though. Okay, coming in at number 20 on our list, we have Android 18 Super Soul. I'll use all my strength to kill you. Now what it does is it activates ki auto recovery throughout the entire match, and when your ki is maxed out, it's gonna boost your normal attacks by about 10%. Now the reason that I feel like Android 18 Soul is superior to Android 17's Getting Beat Up Makes Me Cranky Soul is because you won't get the extra benefit of his soul unless your stamina is maxed out. It's easier to maintain max ki than it is to maintain max stamina, so Android 18's is slightly better in my opinion. It's also a slightly weaker version of Lord Slug Soul, but with the ki auto recovery added to it, it makes it a better soul than his, and makes his pretty much pointless to use. Now normally Saiyans don't generate any ki unless they're being attacked or unless they're attacking their opponent. You'll now generate a bar of ki every 32 seconds with this soul, and it comes a lot quicker if you actually are attacking or receiving damage. It's also a significant improvement in ki regeneration when you transform as a Super Saiyan, especially as a Super Saiyan 3 where ki regeneration just sucks ass. You'll be able to gain ki a lot faster in that form. The additional buff to your basic attacks when your ki is maxed out also benefits Super Saiyan 3 users who have this soul. Earthlings also benefit tremendously from this soul because Not only do they also get the basic attack buff when their ki is maxed out, but it stacks on top of their natural ki regeneration, so they get it at a much faster rate. Alright, coming in at number 19 on the list, we have Future Gohan Super Soul, Time to Dismantle You Androids. Now this soul is similar to Android 17 and 18's because it also activates ki auto recovery mode. However, you regenerate ki at a rate that's twice as fast. It also gives you a 10% damage reduction to all attacks. Now the downside to this soul is that it only activates once you've lost 50% of your health. But once it does activate, your ki is going to regenerate so fucking fast, it's not even fun. It's great for Saiyans that are transformed. Even if they're Super Saiyan 3, you still regenerate at the same rate as you would in your base form, or even if you were using Potential Unleashed. And considering that you're going to be relatively low on health, you can also factor in your Zenkai boost. As for Earthlings, I didn't get a chance to actually test it, but considering that Android 17 and 18 souls stack, there's probably a good chance that this one stacks too with their natural ki regeneration ability. It's also pretty good for Namekians because once their health is low, they're going to be regenerating health and ki at an extremely fast rate. So overall, it's a pretty versatile soul. It can be used with almost any race, and the reason why it's above Android 18's, in my opinion, Android 18 soul is probably the more stable soul because, you know, it's not too much risk. This soul is a bit more high risk, high reward. It really just depends on your taste. I personally just find this one to be slightly better. Coming in at number 18, we've got Janemba Super Soul, Janemba. Now, as far as ki regeneration goes, or, you know, any souls that grant auto ki recovery or just ki focused souls, I think this is the best one. Now what it does is, for every perfect block or just guard, it grants you a little bit under 2.5 bars of ki. It also gives you a temporary boost in ki blast skills by about 10%. Now if you're someone like me who's really good at perfect blocking, you'll find that this soul is extremely easy to use. But even the person that, you know, just stands there and spams block all day, they'll be able to find some success with it too. Now the reason I prefer this soul over Broly Soul or 17 and 18's or Future Gohan's or any other ki based soul is for a few reasons. The Broly Soul is kind of like a one-shot deal. You know, it gives you all your ki from the start. You know, you better make what you can happen with it happen. 18 soul, you know, is stable, but you know, it's not, you don't gather the ki as quickly as you do with the other souls. And Future Gohan soul requires you to be at, you know, practically half dead before you can use it. With Janemba soul, you pretty much can get as much ki as you need, as many times as you need, and each time that you perfect block them, it's a very substantial amount. So I think that edges out every other ki based soul there is. Alright, coming in at the number 17 spot, we've got Piccolo Super Soul, This Ultimate Power Is Mine. Now it activates at the beginning of the match. What it does is it boosts all your attacks by about 10%, and it lasts throughout the entire fight. Now I'm not a huge fan of this soul simply because, in my opinion, it's just a bit on the boring side, but the stat boost is substantial enough, especially when using a transformation such as Potential Unleashed or Super Saiyan 3. Also, there are absolutely zero drawbacks to using this soul, and it's very good for creating balanced builds, especially for people who like to put their attribute points in their utilities such as health, ki, and stamina. You can get back that extra power that you lost just by equipping this soul. So overall, this is a really good soul. The only drawback really is that there are some really great souls out there that are much better than this one. Coming in at number 16, we have what is arguably the second most popular Super Soul in ranked at the moment. Let's just enjoy the game right now. Now this is East Supreme Kai Super Soul, and it stays activated throughout the entire match. What it does is it provides you with a small damage reduction to all attacks. It nullifies poison, blindness, slow down, stop, paralyze, or freeze attacks, and it also nullifies the stagger that's accompanied with any heavy stamina break, including everybody's favorite cheese bean, God of Destruction's Anger. Now, so many people swear by this soul. I know that there are going to be disagreements in the comments about its placement on the list. Now the reason that I don't have this soul placed higher is because not only do I think there are several more souls out there that are much better and effective, but the type of player that this soul typically defends against is usually pretty easy to beat without it. You know, your absolute zero users, your God of Destruction anger users, your Cinco Key Blast users, your fake blasters, your solar flare users, you know, just your typical cheese player. They're a little annoying, and yeah, this soul can get rid of the annoyance of having to fight them a certain way, but they're usually a one-trick pony. They don't have very many skills or strategy. They don't have a plan B or C once you take away their A game. It's usually just easy work. Now all this soul really does for me is it just removes the annoyance of having to fight players like this, because there's a certain amount of patience you need to have to deal with those assholes, and with this soul you just don't have to worry about any of that. Now while this soul can be very useful, especially considering the amount of players in Rank Without Limitations who just fucking suck, it will not protect you from some of the more serious shit that exists in the game, such as the inescapable Dragon Fist, Key Blast canceling, Key Blast canceling into the inescapable Dragon Fist after your stamina is back, Key Blast canceling into Sledgehammer, Key Blast canceling into basic attacks over and over and over, Go Gum Dragon Flash bullets, or any other meta fuckery exploit that exists within this game. You can bet that this soul will not protect you from them. You know, it's almost as if the developers knew you wouldn't enjoy this game without this soul. And if you've seen some of the shit in this game that I've seen, you're probably not enjoying it as much as you should, even if you are using it. Alright, this wraps up the first installment of the top 25 Super Souls in Xenoverse 2. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Also, what's your favorite Super Soul? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you agree or disagree with the souls that I have on this list or their placement, you can also let me know down in the comment section. And as always, subscribe for more. Thanks guys, peace.